Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Flash Productions, and today I'm doing like a um, uh, two video in one day sort of thing because to make up for the week or two that I missed. Um, anyway, today I'm in Minecraft, but I'm not going to be making a Minecraft video. I actually got this idea from my mother, and so I really want to be an author when I grow up. It's one of my dream jobs. I really like to write, and I started writing a book about a day or two ago, and my mom said that I should read, like, I'm writing it on a Google Doc, so when I say pages, I mean like Google Doc pages. I should read like 1 or 2 pages every once in a while, just if you guys like whatever to read or write, whatever. I will just show you what I've been working on. So, yeah, like, subscribe, all that. I really appreciate it. Let's get straight into it. My book is called The Survivor. I was laying in my hard, uncomfortable bed, just like I did every day, every week, every month of my life. My room was gray, my bed was gray, my clothes were gray. Everything was. For everybody. That's what life was in the United Countries of Earth. Ever since the nuclear war, everything's been the same. The countries had warfare because everything was different. Different countries believed in different religions, different ways of life. War broke out in 2044. Half of the countries on our planet were destroyed. Canada, Sweden, Iceland, Australia, Chile, all gone. The biggest countries formed an alliance after the war. The US, China, Russia, England, Spain, France, Germany, and Nigeria. They all signed a piece of paper called the Treaty of Earth. All the remaining countries agreed to keep everything the same, so nothing like the war would ever happen again. There was no more differences between people anymore. No more being creative. Each of the country's rulers were elected world leaders. They were called the Watchers. Each Watcher owned a different section of Earth. They watched it and made sure everything was kept the same. No more differences. If you were caught being different, expressing yourself, being creative, you were sent away. No one knows where. No one has ever disobeyed the Watchers. Some say you were thrown in a volcano. Some say you're eaten alive by hungry tigers. No one knows for a fact. I live in Section 5 of Earth. I'm from the United States of America, but was forced to leave. I live in what you would call Greenland. Greenland was destroyed in the war. Their army was wiped out by the other countries. The Watchers took over their land and used it as a station for factories. That's where I work. I live on United Street 1035. Every street in the world is called United Street, just with different numbers for each street to tell them apart. It was the same thing every day. If you worked where I worked, at least. I hadn't been anywhere besides my house, my street, or my workplace. I didn't know what the rest of Earth was like. I had never seen the beautiful planet before. Just my gray house, gray street, and gray factory. Every day I woke up, put on my gray uniform, and went to the factory. My factory was all gray, big, and it smelled as if everybody had a cigar. The camera at the front door scanned my face, and after a minute of waiting, it let me in. Before the war, I wouldn't have been working at a factory. I would probably be working at a gas station or fast food restaurant. I'm 16 years old. My name is Brian Miller. I'm tall, with some blonde hair and ocean blue eyes. I'm muscular, and my hair folds back like an ocean wave. Although almost nobody saw my hair. You had to wear a gray cap at my workplace. Nobody except Joe and Sarah knew what I really looked like. Joe and Sarah were my foster parents. Nobody stays with their biological parents. You get paired up with two parents who look almost exactly like you. It was like being a younger triplet. All of my fellow workers were 16 also. You went to the factory every day, spent 10 hours there, then went back to your house. Everybody had a gray minivan that they drove. Different ages worked for different factories in my town. I walked inside and saw the gargantuan gray factory, where my fellow workers and I made concrete. Gray concrete, to be exact. I put my gray bag in my gray locker and got to work. I was working in Section 2. That's where all the boys whose names started with a B worked. I got to my spot and started stirring the concrete. I did this for 10 hours a day, every day. As I stirred the concrete, I thought to myself, what was it like before the war? I knew most of what had changed. I knew back then there were things called video games and music. Those weren't a thing anymore. I was born May 23rd, 2032. I don't remember a lot from when I was really young. I remember my biological mom and I would eat ice cream on our porch. One night we were licking the ice cream off our cones when the siren sounded. That meant an attack was coming. We ran into the basement and hid there for days. When we came up to see the smoke in the sky, there were planes everywhere. There was so much smoke and fire you could hardly see or breathe. Where was I? I lost my spot. Okay, that's one of the few memories I have of when I was younger. All of a sudden, a ringing noise that shook me out of my daydream flooded my ears. I looked over at the wall. The clock read 6 o'clock. It was finally time to go home. I was just about to leave my spot when my boss, Bill, came over to talk to me. "You're not done yet, Brian," Bill said as he inspected my spot. Bill was a chubby, short man with a thick gray beard and short gray hair. He had many wrinkles and moles on his face. "What do you mean? It's 6 o'clock," I responded to Bill as I headed for my locker to get my bag and go home. Bill looked at me. "You've still got concrete in your spot. Stir it," Bill said to me as he walked away. "Come on, Bill, give me a break," I shouted down the hall. "Sorry, kid, not my problem," Bill shouted back. I went back to my spot and started stirring the concrete. I was ticked off. I have stirred more concrete than anyone here. I had been working here since I was 12. I've been working my butt off here for 4 years, and I was done. I wasn't going to be told what to do anymore. I picked up the concrete with my bare hands and started making a picture on the wall. I used my fingers and my whole hand for it. After about 30 minutes, I was finished. I stepped back and looked at what I had done. I think was called art. Art was banned a long time ago after the war. I heard Bill walking down the hall. Oh no, he was going to see me next in the wall next to me. I had to run. I took off down the hallway, but Bill caught me. "Miller, where do you think you're going?" he shouted to me. "Wall," was all I screamed back. Bill looked over at the wall with my artwork. He looked like he was about to faint. He picked up the phone on the table next to him. He dialed a number and waited. I sat there with sweat trickling down my face as Bill put the phone up to his ear. Eventually, the phone answered. "Hello, is this the United Guards?" Bill asked on the phone. The United Guards were the Watchers' henchmen. They would arrest anyone who disobeyed the Watchers. But as I said earlier, nobody has ever disobeyed the Watchers. "Yes, a worker of mine has created artwork," Bill said into the phone. I thought about running. I could try to escape, but if they caught me, I would be in more trouble. But what if they didn't catch me? And that is the first 2 pages. Not quite done with, that's like the first chapter. It's not quite done with chapter 1, but that's the first 2 pages of my book. I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back for more. I will probably post 2 pages daily or maybe every 2 days. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.